Hey guys, I'm finally doing a Barrows guide, and I'm going to show you a couple of tips and tricks of the things I like to do and what may help you and what may not. I'm going to start off, this is going to be a guide for the lower levels all the way through the experts who've been playing Runescape for years and they think they know everything about Barrows. And so I'm going to be starting off with like some noob gear, and then we're going to be moving on to more of the intermediate. We're going to be doing noob, like beginner at Barrows, then we're going to be doing just intermediate normal player, you know, decently good, and then the expert kind of person. So this is my noob setup, and I'm probably going to try, but if it's not up there, I'm probably going to try to edit some things and replacements. So for the noob gear, I have ignore the CLS. This can be replaced with just a simple whip. A whip will do, but I didn't, yeah. Any cape will do. Obby cape is probably good for noob levels. Full rune, if you're not too confident in yourself and dying and you don't want to lose anything else. Combat bracelet, Ring of Wealth, I have to actually recommend for all, because Ring of Wealth helps with your drops in the chest. This can be replaced with a Dragon Defender if you have one, or a Rune Defender would also work. Amulet of Glory for teleporting home. I'm gonna see. Oh, also I have Monkfish as a medium class food, 3 prayer pots, a pure set, and a spade. And we're gonna be seeing how many kills exactly we can be getting with this gear. Barrows is in Moritana, and there are a lot of ways to get there. You can use a fairy ring, code DLS, and exit the cave, and you'll be really close. The most common method, the method that we're going to be using today as a noob, is running all the way from Varrock, and running all the way over here, running all the way through the swamp, down the thing, all the way through here, all the way there. That's what we're going to be doing today. And also, and trust me, there are thousands of other methods. You could take shortcuts by taking this boat. Trust me, there's a lot of methods that you can do. Also, have to throw this in. You have to do the quest Priest in Peril in order to do this minigame. And if you haven't done Priest in Peril, it's a fairly easy quest, so go ahead and favorite this video for later. Yeah. Tip number 1, before you enter that gate right there, you want to make sure your run is full on charge, because there are ghasts, these little ghost things, and if they attack you, as you just saw right there, your food will rot, and you have to just pretty much just drop it on the floor, because it's no longer, it's just not good anymore. There's nothing else you can do with it, and that really does affect you if you're coming over with rocktails or something. Especially if you're one of those professional people who only bring about 5 pieces of food or so, and it really can affect you, so you want to make sure that you're not walking through here, or else they can really affect the amount of food that you have. There are a total 6 brothers: Varrock, Darrock, Torag, Guthan, Kirill, and Arim. And 4 of these guys attack with melee, 1 of them attacks with range, 1 of them attacks with mage. A lot of people, actually, it's pretty much just the true fact that Darrock is definitely the most dangerous out of all of these. But something that you should know now is that there is no specific order that you should or have to kill these in. You do have to take down every single one of them individually, but you do not have to take them down in any specific order. Yeah, a lot, like when I first started doing it, the guide I used was saying, oh, you should first attack Arim, and then you should attack Kirill, and then you should attack Darrock. No, there's no order that you should attack. What I recommend is that the first person, this is how I do it, and you can do it in a different way. What I like to do is I start off here as all, and go immediately to Darrock, because Darrock is someone that you have to prey on. You have to prey melee. And since when I first get there, I'm already at full prayer points, I like to start off with Dara. If I have a little bit of prayer points left over, then I'll immediately go over to Aram. That's because Aram is a mage, and since I'm always using melee, I'm always just in melee armor, which is smart considering there's 4 out of 6 is melee, so you really do want melee armor. I immediately go over to Aram because of his magic, because of the combat triangle. He will be doing high, so you also as well want to prey on him. Then once I've completely run out of prayer points, which definitely I would have, but after killing these 2, I'll go over to Varrock, because Varrock, his special ability, every single one of these people have a special trait to them, and Varrock's special trait is that he hits through prayer. So no matter what, if you're praying melee, he's still going to hit you as if you weren't praying melee. So I like to only attack Varrock whenever I run out of prayer points, and that's why there's no specific order to which you should kill them or not. It's all dependent on you. Although Carl is range, and even if you're dressed in completely maxed gear in melee, it's still a very good idea to pray on him on range because he is very powerful. Torag does not require prayer if you're a high enough level. Guthin also as well does not require prayer if you're a high enough level. Those are a few tips to which you can save prayer potions and make your trips slightly longer. Tip number 2, before you enter any tomb, it's very important that you pot before you get in. Tip number 3, pray before you touch the sarcophagus, because the first hit, no matter how fast you are at switching prayers, no matter how fast you are, the first hit will hurt you unless you're praying before you touch the sarcophagus. So you see me praying on Dara because the lower health he is, his special abilities, the lower health he is, the higher he hits. And at this point on his HP, he could hit easily 500s and 600s. So it's very recommended that you quickly kill him and don't allow him to attack. As you can see, I have a little bit of prayer points left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to immediately go over to the mage because I found a hidden tunnel, so that means I need to kill Aram last. I'm going to be fighting him in the sarcophagus. And since I still have a little bit of prayer points left, I know for a fact that I need to pray on Kirill. So I immediately go over to him. That way I efficiently don't waste any prayer points. Because prayer points could be the thing making you go back home to rebank. There have been so many times to where I've brought too much food and I've run out of prayer points and I had to just down food as fast as I can as fighting someone in the tombs or something. So trust me, that is definitely not something that you want. If you have one more that you still have a little bit of prayer points, I recommend wasting it on Guthin, not on Torag, on Guthin. The reason for that is because Guthin does hit higher than Torag does, and because whenever Guthin hits, there's a slight chance he will heal himself. So it is recommended to pray on Guthin rather than Torag when it comes to that. Another tip: do not stay in the catacombs or the tombs for too long. If you stay in the tombs for too long, your stats start to go down, and that's why it's very recommended to bring an entire set of pots. Now you can see that my prayer points have been drained to 0, so now I'm going to fight Barrows because no matter what, he would have been hitting the same, and I'm not going to waste prayer points for nothing. Being in the catacombs don't only reduce your stats, they also drastically reduce your prayer points. So you may be watching as your prayer points go down at a steady, clean rate, and then randomly it'll drop by a clean 100. And the reason for that is because of the catacombs. That's why it's recommended immediately to just get out as fast as humanly possible. A little tip for me is I actually find it more important to get out. If you're trying to say prayer very like stingy, it's more important to get out of the catacombs as fast as you can, rather than turning off your prayers. Because turning off your prayers takes time, and with that time, it's a lot better to just get out of the catacombs. After successfully slaughtering all of the, all of the brothers, besides the one encrypted brother, you will be entering the real catacombs, not the tombs, the catacombs, to which, the inside, your minimap is completely blacked out. But here is pretty much a drawing of what the catacombs look like. You do not always start in this corner, although you do always start in one of these here boxes. Whichever one you start in is completely random. But your goal is always to try to get to the middle, to where the chest is. Another tip that is very useful is within the catacombs, prayer is drained immensely fast. So it is only recommended to actually use prayer in a situation to which you need to, such as fighting Darok or something. I was fighting Irem, so instead I just decided to take off my armor to where I would have to where mage wouldn't be strong, consisting of the combat triangle, and save my prayer potions, because those are what's actually the most useful. Is actually very possible, and a lot of people do this, to where instead of bringing almost any food, they'll bring about 5 food, and it's usually a high food such as Rocktail, and the entire inventory completely filled with prayer potions. So prayer potions are definitely a lot better than food. Once you finally manifested your way, I'm not sure if I used that word correctly, your way through the catacombs, and you finally found the door leading to the middle, you'll find that the door has a lock on it. And I'll give you the answer to all of them right now, which you should be seeing on your screen. But, personally, every single one of these puzzles are just extremely easy and can be figured out on the top of your head, which is what they're actually specifically designed for, considering you only have a little bit of time for every single one, considering if you don't do it fast enough, you will be attacked by a monster, and that will exit out of your puzzle, and you'll have to start over and choose a completely different one. Don't worry, there are only 4 puzzles, and the answers are always the same. Maybe not in the exact same spot, but always the same. For this one, it's just going down one side, so the next one would be a square. This one, I'd say, is the most difficult out of all of them. It's round, flat, pointy, flat, pointy, round. Yeah, you pretty much get it. So the next one would be right side, pointy. Pretty simple, but that one's a little bit, I understand it being difficult to do under pressure. This one's rather simple, and this one is, I'd say, the simplest out of all of them. It really doesn't require me showing you, but there they are. Something I feel I must add. This is a high belief that I must prove wrong in this video now. The creatures slain. Most people believe that it does indeed help your loot. It does not. It doesn't affect it in any way. There's actually a YouTube video of a man spending all day in here getting around 1,000 creatures slain using Guthans as a permanent food source, and he really only got runes and nothing really impressive as a drop. Creature slain does not affect your loot whatsoever. So let's see what I get. It's probably just runes, and that's quite casual, and that's okay. I actually got a very decent drop this time. When you see the roof shaking, it is advised to panic and immediately leave the way you came. If you feel like you can support an entire another trip, then retrace your steps door to door and try to find the original rope that you came in on. It's not too hard to see, it's kind of hard to click on. But while the roof is shaking, do not stand in the same spot over, because the roof will cave in on you, and that won't cause you to die, but it will cause some damage. I got a quite decent drop here. Bolt racks are part of the Barrows set. It's arrows for Carol's bow, so it is pretty decent drop. Quite glad. Not the best drop there is, and I will be showing loots and such right now. These are the kind of drops that you can be expected to get. The more common ones are the common ones that you're probably going to see a lot of the time, besides this barrel icon, unless you've done, I think, a quest, I believe. This is courtesy to Google Wikipedia, so be sure to thank them. Don't worry, you really don't have to. And this is more of the cool stuff, and something that I like very much is that it's rare. It's not very rare, such as these 3 items over here. It's simply rare, and that makes your chances of getting it a lot better, and I'm very glad to see that. I feel I must point this out. Arcuses, anything that has to do with Arcuses, or yeah, Arises, this guy, you have to have done the Ritual of Majorats, that word, the extremely Grandmaster hardest quest in RuneScape at the moment, in order to have that Barrows brother accessed. Yes. Once your RuneScape player has finally said, okay, I've had enough, I'm running out of food, I'm running out of supplies, take me home. Then you can go ahead and use your glory, or your ring of wealth, or your V teleport if you happen to bring one, and simply teleport home. But I will assure you that it is completely possible to do an entire Barrows trip with simply full health, full stats, no potions or anything. And for the lower levels, it's quite possible to pull off with 6 pieces of lower level food and just 1 prayer pot. So it is very recommended to stay. Try to tank out maybe 2 trips, trips to Barrows before banking. And it's perfectly fine to do only 1 trip bank if it's your very first time. Other gear that can be used, this is more of a medium kind of player, so pretty much anyone who plays RuneScape to a serious level or so should be having around this kind of gear, and that would be regen bracelet, dragon boots, ring of wealth, any kind of Barrows equipment, because if you didn't know this already, which you probably should, I'm pretty sure all Barrows equipment, but don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure all Barrows equipment has the exact same defense stats. So that means if it's a piece of Darrock or if it's a piece of Guthans, no matter what the price is, they both have the same stats. Of course, of course, melee gear, because clearly mage wouldn't have it, you know what I mean. A chaotic longsword, if you have one. If not, then other stuff should be shown right over there in blue. Obsidian cape. Now in this case, you can replace that with any kind of cape that has a prayer bonus, because as I've shown you, prayer does matter quite a lot. Knockout aura, if you have one. Ring of wealth shall always remain there. All praise the ring of wealth. In this situation, instead, we've got a little bit more prayer pots, because hopefully we can kind of tank out more kills. I have extreme strength and extreme attack this time, not regular. Extreme defense if you have it. Rocktails are recommended. When it comes to the high level gear, sorry, if you watch some of my old videos, you know that I recently got hacked, so I had to use some pictures that I found. But this is pretty much a decent image. Helmet Neats for sure is definitely a good helmet overall. Banthos is a great choice here. DFS is an amazing choice, especially because it has amazing defense bonus, and it still has, I believe, 1 plus the strength bonus that a defender has. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it does. D-boots as well. A skill cape would be absolutely amazing for its amazing prayer bonus, and especially a trimmed skill cape would be even better. A whip. By now, if you don't have one, you should get a chaotic. That would be very good as well. And for the inventory, okay, a little more detailed as for the inventory. like I said before, some people do not even bring food at all. I don't recommend not bringing food at all, but I do recommend bringing at least a little bit. Overloads as one permanent potion, I guess bring a lot if you're planning on staying there for quite a long time. Dragon Paralysis is a spec weapon if you have it. Full Banthos plus Fury, Recipe for Disaster Gloves, Dragon Boots, and if you're going for the max feeling, then get an Onyx Ring imbued, although I still recommend the Ring of Wealth because it's all for profit here. Fighter's Hat does help a lot, especially because it does have prayer bonus. You don't have to if you don't want to. That is, I believe, an RD Cape. That's not the real name for it. Arduine Cape. But it does have truly amazing prayer bonuses. That is the Naka Aura. This is something which a lot of people are probably going, what's that? That's something called a Holy Wrench, to which you get during the quest The Great Brain Robbery, and what it does is while it's in your inventory, each prayer potion zip that you take lasts slightly longer and you get a slightly larger dose of the prayer potion than you would, so it does help a lot. These are not bottles of water, they're actually spec restores, to which are not allowed to be brought in the wild, but here, very, very, very recommended. And I recommend that instead of bringing these kind of potions, Jagex has recently updated with a even stronger version of prayer potions, an even stronger prayer potion, to which is orange. I'm not quite sure what the real name of it is, but I know it's orange. And last, just in my personal opinion, I recommend taking out 2 of these prayer potions and putting in 1 stat restore, 1 super restore potion, and 1 Saradomin brew. Saradomin brew for food, and the stat restore because the Saradomin brew doesn't bring your stats down. Guys, if this video was of any help to you whatsoever, please leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, give me anything. Troll if you want, I don't care, just show me that you care. Thank you for watching, I hope I helped. If you need anything, go ahead and comment or message me. I reply to every message there is and most comments. Thank you so much for watching, I appreciate it. Thumbs up, comment, and if you want to check out some of my other videos, I'm not begging you to subscribe, but hey, it's out there. Check out some of my other videos for live commentaries and stuff. I love you for watching. Thank you. Have an awesome day. Bye.